You ready?
Let's go.
Oh man, see, this is what you get for messing with people who are not professionals.
No, you're good, man. It's all good. Let's go. Let's make it pop.
Oh man,
you got it. You got it.
Hold on one second, Stacey.
Let's rock it. Count it down.
One second.
Right.
I want to make sure. I want to make sure I get you in your best light.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know what? I probably got a little light. I probably could have done something here with that. I didn't know that was an issue.
No. I just want to put your graphics up right.
Okay, yes sir.
Yes sir. There we go.
Okay.
Make you big and make me small. That's the way it should be.
Oh, okay. That's what we're doing. Okay.
Lost Lettermen, man.
Let's go.
We got a special one tonight. In the sporting world, certain people are known for certain events. Do you believe in miracles, my man Al Michaels?
A beast, all-time legend.
Bang, 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 bang. My guy Mike Breen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Marv Albert.
Marv Albert.
Yes. Legend.
For my money, we have the voice of South Carolina championship basketball. Stacey Hough is in the building tonight. What's going on, Stacey?
My guy, glad to be with you as always, man. You know, we're no strangers for the broadcast together, man. I appreciate you having me on for a couple of minutes today.
Let's go. A couple of minutes. We're going to be on for a good time, but not a long time.
Absolutely. I think Drake once said that. I believe, yeah.
So, Stacey, let's get right to it, man. Let's get right to it. Hold on one second. Let's get right to it. Hold on. Let me make sure we are okay. Yeah, where would we need to be? How long have you been in the game?
25 plus. Started doing sports radio in December of 2000. So this past December was 25 years since I first cracked the microphone. But play-by-play, I think I started doing that for the first time in 2001, like January, February 2001.
So, and we're going to get to the games in a second.
Yeah.
25 plus.
Yeah.
How has your evolution as a broadcast, because I really want to kind of get into Stuart Scott and your frat brother, rest in peace.
That's my guy,
Stuart Scott.
Glad I got to meet him, yeah.
I really kind of want to get into the evolution of the game in terms of how have you grown, or what do you do differently now than probably, obviously you could do a lot of things differently, and you're more experienced. But what are some of the things that you do differently now than you did probably as a younger Tough Nation Sports?
I'll definitely get into that. And just for those people who are like, why is he still local? Well, I went through a personal tragedy. I went through a personal tragedy, became a single parent back in the day. So I knew I was going to be a local guy at that point. I had 2 small kids I was raising as a single dad. So I knew I was going to be local. So I wanted to be the best local guy I could be. So, what I do differently other than get paid now as opposed to doing it for free the first few years. No, I love it, man. But the older you get into this thing, man, the more relationships you build. And I know you see patterns, there's an ebb and a flow. And like the cliche of sports is don't get too high, don't get too low. I've seen programs go to the zenith, and I've seen the same programs go down and come back up again. So I don't get too down on teams or players or coaches or anyone. I don't get too judgmental because the thing kind of, at some point, it kind of evens out. So you can learn to be a little more, to sit back and observe.
You know what? That's such and that leads me right into my next question or commentary.
Yeah.
Doing high school is different than college, and obviously in the professional ranks. Yeah. How much when you're doing a game, especially when you're starting out, because the natural barbershop is when you see something, say something, and you say kind of what it is. Yeah. But when you're dealing with high school, I would assume it's a little different. So. Yeah. How much do you sometimes have to take your, not foot off the gas, but be really cognizant of what you say? Because again, they are high school, they're kids, as opposed to, college athletes and professionals.
Absolutely. I'm glad you opened this up for me to say this one thing. I got to say this, and it'll answer your question as I go into it. I was brought into the calling the games as a color commentator. A guy named Emerson Phillips was my play-by-play guy. To this day, one of the best I've ever worked with. I'm talking. I've never national level. I've never seen a guy as good as Emerson as far as talent. But one thing he told me, he said, during basketball, when the ball is in play, I talk, and when it goes to the net, you talk. In football, when people are moving and the play-by-play guy talks, and when the tackle is made, you can talk from there until they break the huddle. And now nobody huddles anymore. But I'm just saying, so that part, the technical part, I learned real quick on the fly from a guy who's really, really good, who had done some college games, which I ended up doing some college games with him down the road. But as far as how I prepare, like preparation, like today, brother, I got 5 championship games this weekend, right? Of the 12 games, class 1 through 5, and 2 and 5. Is it 12 games or is it? Yes, 12 games. I got 5 of the games, right? So that's 10 teams. I've called 4 of the coaches already, right? So there's money. So the more you prepare, the smoother it sounds on air. So I learned to get more and more. I get there real early, and I get all the information I can. So when I roll up on the scene, I'm dapping up people now. Now I'm just having a good time because I've done the work already. So.
Now, and we're gonna get into the actual games themselves next, or after next. But we're all a prisoner of the moment.
Yeah.
We can be a prisoner of the moment, and I had to stop myself last night in preparation, as you just said, for this conversation.
Yeah.
And we're gonna talk 5A. I was like, man, Staley and Savage, they could run off 5 state championships easily.
I think I saw you tweet that, but you also put the caveat, and here's why. Right, why.
Let me finish. Let me finish. Easily, if everything, to your point, if everything remains the same, but I had to go back because I don't know the game, I don't know the history nearly as well as you do, and I had to go back into, and this is the best thing I got, the phone and people that I respect. So I went into people I respect. I made a few messages last night, and they said if that happens, it will be a monumental feat. But the run that Dorman had from 2017 to 2020 and then came back in 2023 cannot be forgotten. And that's why sometimes we're a prisoner of the moment. We're like, but sometimes you have to do your homework and do your history. As a person who was there and called many of those games, and I think they probably could have had a few more that had the ball might have bounced their way. Bounce against them a few times. It probably could have been even more. So as a person who was there and called those games, tell me, not necessarily comparing the 2 runs, but tell me a little bit about what you think about that.
Well, I called that Dorman run. I think I called all but one of those championship games. I think I called pretty much all of them, but one of them, and including the one they lost to River Bluff. I called that one. Kerry Richard, I called that one up in USC.
What a game! What a game! What a game!
Right? Yeah, we went crazy. It was, it was just a great game plan and everything worked perfectly. But over the runs, Gaffney. When I first came into the game, Gaffney was on top. Sidney Rice, AZ Reed,
right.
And just a quick little point of information here. Gaffney holds a state record for boys championships, I think, with 15 or 16. So don't forget. So I'm saying that's how you see it go up, and then But what Ridgeview has going, Stoneman did 4 out of 6. State is looking at a 3-peat, and his 2 best players, arguably, are 10th graders.
That's why I said they could get 5, but keep going.
Right. I get you. But injuries, transfer, the portal now, the legal and the illegal portal. I mean, the transfer and the above ground, and players come and go, right? But injuries, a bad night, an off night, a lot can happen. But I tell people all the time, brother, when you're watching this stuff, you have to enjoy it while you can, because we don't know what next year looks like. You know what I'm saying? You don't know. One off game and the run ends. But it's something special about whole. Grade Collegiate has put together a run just in recent years. I call Dutch Fort girls when they had a run with 3 in a row with Atlanta Colts, and guess who lost to them two of those times? Josh Staley. So you don't know Josh Staley, the girls coach.
He's been in the game for so long.
He was in the game. He was on a loser. He lost to Ann Long, who had a mini dynasty at Spring Valley. He lost to Faye Norris, who's in the Hall of Fame from Spring Valley, and Debbie Stroman. Now I forget her Wardlaw. He lost to 3 legends, and they was like, Josh Taylor can't win a championship. He was like, okay, I lost to Debbie Stroman, Wardlaw, Ann Long, and Faye Norris. So now, just like that, now he's on the boys' side, about to do it himself. So,
before we actually get to the games, top players that you at championship games. Just give me 3, or if you have to give me more, 3 people, and they might not necessarily be the best, but 3 performances that you just really put a stamp on a state championship finals game.
I had a black and white on because I know the guy's dead, but I think it's the Jenkins kid at River Bluff who beat Dorman almost by, it seemed like by himself. And I know his dad. His dad and I played golf together, but I don't have it's a live moment. And I know I knew the kid since I coached AAU against the kid when he was like 5th grade, and I know his dad and I have been cool ever since. But that was one of the single. I think he went for 38, like 38, 10, and 8 or something. and I'm gonna tell you a quick story. This is kind of what you want. This is why I'm here right now. So leading up to that game, I always interview the coaches, right? So I talked to my man up in Dorman. He's legendary coach. I call Lee over at River Bluff, and we going back and forth about what he said. I'll tell you what, Stacey, they got all the accolades. They got a 4-peat. They got all they're nationally ranked. They got all. He said, but we got one guy they can't guard.
Danny Madison.
He told me that before. He said, and my hope and belief is that's going to be enough. He said, we got one matchup. Their bigs are too slow, and their small guys ain't strong enough. And that's what won on the game right there. But I'm just saying, but over the years, I saw Sidney Rice and AZ Reed and Gaffney put on the show. On the girls' side, I saw Malaysia Fulwiley go for 34 in a championship game. I saw Raymond Felton go for 40 plus.
I heard that was that had to be.
And I wasn't calling the game. I was actually watching that game. I wasn't calling that game, but I was there. I was courtside. I had courtside press row seats, and he had somebody in the stands calling out his score the whole game, how many he had. Somebody from Ladder was like 25. He's like, bet. But 20. That's 28, bro. I mean, still think that undefeated Irmo team with Justin Mackey, BJ Mackey's son on it. There's something dad never did, and I saw the emotion on BJ's face when he hugged his son. Like, you got what I got now. You got a championship Irmo. I saw all those things, man, and it's been great, a blessing to be a part of all that, man. Just to be, courtside and more often than not with a headset on.
Well, with your the reason I like you is because it'll take a genius to figure it out, man. You bring a little. I mean, it's professional, but you bring that soul in there. You know what I mean? You bring the soul to the party. That's why I like Gus Johnson. He brings the soul, and that's no disrespect to people who don't do it that way. I mean, I think there's sometimes. I mean, I can appreciate both. I can appreciate country and I can appreciate hip hop. You know what I mean? It's all good music. Yeah, it's all good music. So my point is, has your style evolved? I would assume it has. Has it evolved over the years? And how would you say it's evolved? Because I would assume that you're always doing, internal evaluations on, your performance. And how would you say it's evolved over the years?
It's just a great question. And you know what? First of all, I hate hearing myself. People that don't be like, oh, he talks. Right. I can't stand to hear myself talk back. But I had this early on. I had to study. But remember, I was a color commentator when I started out. That's a different job than a play-by-play guy. So I had to evolve. Play-by-play guy, you got to be a little bit more serious. You got to be a little bit more informative as far as what's actually happening. Right. And I couldn't be. I was funnier as a color commentator because I just sat down telling stories, and I was weaving in a lot of. But thank God I started as a color commentator on radio, and me and Emerson Phillips were pre-taping District 2 football games. Whoever was at Harry Perona on Friday night is who we did. Back then, they shared one stadium. This is how far back we go. Ridgeview, Richard Northeast, and Spring Valley all shared one stadium. One team had a home game on Thursday. A second team had a game on the road, and the third team had a home game on Friday every week. Whoever had the home game on Friday we were homers for them. And we taped it, and we played it back the next morning on WCEO 8:40 a.m. The Boss. And guess what? Under that cover, right, I was just having fun. I wasn't making any money. My personality grew there. You know what I'm saying? So I had to kind of, over the years to evolve, I had to kind of tighten it up a little bit be a little bit more informative. I copied the styles of people I hear on TV and see, and slid over to play-by-play, and then I had to work in some Marv Albert, some Dick Enberg, you know what I'm saying, some Brian Gumble, some Gus Johnson. I had to incorporate that and get a little bit more what's on the field instead of me just being Stacey trying to be an amateur comedian. But I thank God I started out way out there, so I just kind of, I was never not me. I was always free to say whatever I wanted to say, and I thank God for that.
Now we have the again, we got Stacey, the voice Hough, in the building tonight with us on the Lost Lettermen, man. We don't need a whole bunch of people. We just need the legends. Now, since the game is at CLA,
yeah, man, home.
Can and I know you talked a little bit about Jenkins, and I think that game was in Aiken.
It was USC Aiken.
And again, no disrespect to Aiken. It's different when you're in that CLA. Can you tell the difference? And you've commentated games because just me being younger, man. Man, I used to get nervous. You get nervous in games. Like you have to kind of calm yourself down, especially when you're young. Can you tell sometimes the difference when you're in that, when kids get in the CLA and they are in a different when the state championship is in a smaller arena? Can you tell the difference?
It absolutely is. And my quick side part, my first time in CLA was, I want to say it was March of 2003 when I first did a game. And I remember calling my late wife, Miss rest in peace. And I told him, I said, I think I'm about to fall on and hit the back of my head on this floor. and people know, like, you were nervous. That's how nervous I was the first time I did a game. And back then it was ETV Sports or something, I think it was, and there was no taping. Everything was live. There was no pre-taping. It was
right.
The whole state's about to watch. 25. We expect 25,000 go. And they put a light on. I was like, I'm about to fall out. But the players, but you can tell because the video clips are there. The SEC, look, that's the court, Asia Wilson, BJ Mackey, Melvin Watson. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is the court where now generations have come through. Now sons, the daddies played there, and the sons are coming through playing. You know what I'm saying? This CLA. So yeah, you can tell a difference. It's a whole different aura when you bounce the ball on that court. And you got that big Gamecock logo, and the stands go way up high, and you got a corridor. Listen, you can feel it. You absolutely feel it.
And you know what, man? That leads me into rest in peace, Mr. Andy, or Andy's Deli, big baller of the week.
Yes, yeah. Okay.
The first Andy's Deli, and we're not getting anything from Andy's Deli, but no. Mr. Andy, I love Mr. Andy. But best memory besides Jay-Z. Well, actually, probably a better memory than Jay-Z, man. Mr. Andy can remember stuff from 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Being ready for your moment, man. Yeah. Andy's Deli baller of the week. And I don't know this young man, but a lot of times people say, man, you can practice. Yeah. But you have to be ready for your moment too.
Absolutely.
Because you can practice a lot. And when your moment comes, you're not ready to go. I've got to give a young man credit. Christopher Horton.
Wow, last week.
I've got to give. Hey, you know what? I got to go back to November on this one, because I was sitting in Dreer watching the games with you.
Say the name of the tournament. Say the name of the event. Say it. You can say it.
I didn't want to blow it up, but we'll show out in Shandon. I'm just kicking it with my man Jamel Farr. Shout out to Young Boss.
Jamel's a great guy. That's my guy. I love Jamel.
Yeah. And Ridgeview was playing, and look, I called him Naughty Dread. Naughty Dread came off the bench.
Yeah.
And I didn't know who he was. Jamel told me, he said, man, that guy is the best shooter in South Carolina. I said, that kid with the dreads? He said, watch him. That anything past half court, bang, bang. And then he was doing that. And then I was listening to something maybe 2 weeks ago, and they were talking about Ridgeview, and they said they might have been lacking shooting. I said, what?
got that too.
And I know why you would say that, because it's so much else that you kind of pops out. And this is why I actually want to give Chris Horton so much credit.
He was ready, man.
Because, and I know this, when you are on a team and you're not the first, second, third option, and somebody's always telling you to be ready, it might sound easy, but sometimes in those high school games, 32 minutes, they go by quick.
Yes.
You on that bench halfway through the first quarter, like, man, I ain't got it yet. I got to get in and get. And when I saw him against Dorman come out, I was not surprised at all. Come out with 20. He was ready for his moment. And to come back the next day or whenever the next game was and put those bang, 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 bangs. Man, listen. Chris Horton should never pay for another meal on that side of Columbia.
Listen, this kid is key and he's clutch. So let me tell you what, I'll give in the moment right now. I'm talking about Josh Staley, but I saw, Stoneman do it. I've seen Whipple over at Irmo, Zach Norris at Keenan. Some coaches have a way of developing their bench when nobody's really looking. So right. I do PA for Ridgeview. Like last year, the 10th grader, Horton came out the game off the bench and hit some threes last year. He was getting ready last year. He didn't. He didn't know Yale Davis and Corbett were going to leave, but Horton was getting TikTok as a 10th grader. I'm like, when this kid is in the game, he makes things happen. He's playing better defense than I thought last year. And I was like, he can shoot the three, but he's had a full game. I was like, so what is it going to look like? So this year he came on and like I saw his post game interview. He was like, everybody knows this is what I do. Of course I was ready.
Yeah, that's just what I do.
But Staley instilled that confidence in that kid. I think it started last year.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of those guys are just cocky, man. But I've seen all the good programs got guys. I don't know if they're the 8th man or the 9th man, but when that number's called, something in practice or somewhere, he's like, this is what I do. Of course I'm going to do it. And he was ready. Listen, you're right. They might need him. They might need him one more time, but he shot. But he put it together down the stretch here.
Man, because it's not easy when you don't really know, to say stay ready. And I just was so happy for him when and obviously he probably had different moments before the season.
Yeah.
And on that team, you can kind of get lost sometimes because
and that's right.
They don't necessarily need you to win.
But
they needed him the other night.
Hey, what Kevin Hart said about the slide out? When it's your time you sing your solo to slide out, he slid out.
Yeah.
He's like, it's my first. Okay, I'm gonna slide out. I'm gonna sing this thing. And listen, he had the clip flowing. And but you're right, it takes that to win a championship. And we're gonna see, 12 teams out there waiting. Everybody's gonna want that Christopher Horton on their team to get over the hump this weekend. So you're right. Shout out to him.
So I know you're not gonna go. You can't really, obviously, you can't predict the games and go too much into the games. But we're talking about another kid. I definitely want to talk about Westwood and Greenville. Have you seen Greenville yet?
Yeah, I've seen Greenville 3 times. So I saw them they were at the Bash. I did a tournament at Magic City, the first ever Magic City Holiday Shootout in Classic in Florence. I saw them play North Augusta. I saw Greenville. Matter of fact, I want to say, did they play Westwood? They might have played Westwood in that tournament, but I've seen Greenville 3 times this year. And I've seen Westwood right here. I've seen Westwood, and I have that game. That's one of my 5 games I'm calling. I have that game Thursday night.
I'm going to tell you the one thing I will say about Greenville is, and I'm going to show my age here. They got one of those get up guys.
Caden Coleman.
And that's yes.
Boy, he can elevate. He can hop.
He reminds me of back in the day when JoJo would get a fast break and everybody would just get up and start pushing the person next to him.
Yeah.
Like his explosiveness is
crazy.
It is insane. It is insane.
He's wild.
So Caden Coleman, man, I cannot wait. And that blood is good. The juice is gonna be flowing too in the CLA. Ooh,
remember the name Tucker Scholl?
Yeah, I like his game too. I like his game.
But a lot of people, because Caden and Scholl have done now, I think people key on Coleman so much. Scholl sometimes steals the show because nobody wants Caden Coleman to embarrass them. So Scholl got a little smoother, closer to the ground game. So everybody's like, don't let him get off.
Well, the thing is, when you see Coleman do one of those dunks, it's almost like it's a 10-point play or something.
Dude, this kid can hop. Now Westwood got some dogs too. So I think that game gonna be I want to say I think they may have played in the third round of that Magic City Invitation Florida, but that's gonna be high quality basketball. So I have the 5A Division II game.
And shout out to Jaden Cruz. He's another player that we definitely have always had eyes on. And I told somebody the other day, I said, man,
DeMarcus Thomas,
I would never cut it. Do not cut your hair because it makes him look like a star. You know what I mean? It just pops. You know, it pops. But obviously he's a great player.
Committed to Converse. He's committed to Converse.
Yes.
And they got DeMarcus Thomas, who just committed to Southern Wesleyan a bit too. So
yeah, man, that's going to be a great game. That's going to be. But I hope if Kobe gets on the fast break, none of them little guards don't mess with him because they want to see the action.
Make a business decision. Make a business decision because he's explosive, man. That kid's explosive.
So the other matchup that's interesting to me at least is Fox Creek versus Christchurch.
Yeah. And go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, you go.
No, I was gonna say it's funny because I told you I've called 4 of the 10 coaches I got to talk to. One of them I didn't. I know John Butler. I know him. He coached at Cheraw. I'm from Chesterfield. He coached in my home area for a while, but I had him for a minute. I haven't talked to him yet. I want to talk to him because I hadn't followed them all year. But Fox Creek beat Kenyon two or three times this year. That's impressive.
Well, this is why you got to come to Lost Letterman. Because you're only going to get stories the way I'm about to tell you the story.
Break it down for me.
And I said I was going to tell 2 stories. This is one, and Horton was another story. So we've done that one. John Butler is, in terms of talented people I've met in my life, he's in the top 3.
Wow.
And I don't even know the other 2, but he's in the top 3.
Wow. Okay.
This is why. John and I played basketball in high school together, and I've known John since I was in middle school. You know,
really?
I know his sister and his mom, all that.
Good stuff, man.
I'm in geometry class in my 10th grade year.
Mm-hmm.
He did a book, and I've never read a comic book in my life, but one. He put a comic book together, drew it out like a cartoonist. You know how they had the caricatures and everything. Drew it out. And did all the writing. He did the writing himself.
I never did. That was one of his things. I never did it.
I am in geometry class, and he made the characters our teachers.
Wow.
So, like one of the characters, when you talk to him, if you tell him this story, man, he's gonna die laughing.
I'm telling him tomorrow. I'm talking to him tomorrow.
Yeah. One of our teachers, rest in peace, if he's no longer with us, or not rest in peace if he's still here, Mr. Infinger. He said, it's like Super Infinger jumped the building. Dude, I'm in class in the 10th grade. You know how you have your book in front of you?
Yeah.
I got the comic book
inside the book.
Me. Like, I'm reading it like page after page after page after page after page.
Yeah, that's talent. I didn't know he had that talent. I didn't know. Yeah.
He is one, like, just think, he did a comic, like he wrote the cartoonist, like it sketched them out and everything, like Spiderweb and all that. Just straight out of his head.
I can't wait to talk to him tomorrow.
Amazing.
I can't wait to talk to him tomorrow. I'm gonna bring that up. I'm talking, but I knew he's high functioning, but I didn't know he did that. Yeah.
Oh man, it's amazing, and he definitely knows how to have some kids.
Photos, do some photos.
Yes. Every time I see him, I say, "Man, you're the luckiest person I know in my life, man."
Oh, we got to tie it together for those that may not know. So one of his sons played at Florida State, and then went to the NBA, up and down the NBA a little bit. The second guy is on the team with the Gamecocks right now, transferring from Missouri, Jordan Butler. So he definitely has kids.
So much respect to the Butler clan, but I always, every time I see John, I think, man, that kind of talent you just don't see every day. No. A person who can like draw like that and be able to like, man, and be that creative.
I love talking to high functional people.
Yeah, I hope he wins and all that, man. But that's going to be another great game, and obviously, you know, we got our Coach Butler and Coach Wade over there for Fox Creek, man. So they're definitely friends of the show. Yeah,
you know. I snuck up on me because I called his first championship ever up in that was in Aiken, I think the first year we were Aiken. But Coach Butler has 3 chips now. He has 3 state championships.
Oh yeah,
snuck up on me a little bit. I didn't realize it because I hadn't called the last 2. I didn't call, but the first one I called. But while I was doing whatever game, you know, my assignments, I missed. I wasn't even in the building. I missed them the last 2 years. But
you talking about Coach John Butler?
Coach John Butler's won 3 chips.
Well, you have a couple of 7-footers. You better have some state championships.
And look, the year he had both 7-footers, they went 1-8. Like wow, like what 118? Okay. You know.
Oh my God. So with that being said, and we're gonna get you out of here on this one. Because I love Ashley Ridge. I love Ashley Ridge. I just looked at their schedule.
Yeah.
I love Ashley Ridge to death, but it's almost like them when you get in that bracket in 1988 and you see Laura Richardson on the other side, like
and walking the Green Mile. It's like walking the Green Mile, right? They got a chance. Anything can happen. That's why we love sports.
Yeah. You always got a chance.
But let's say Ridgeview is going to be favorite.
I just talked to Gigi Gecko. He's 7-3 right now in picking games.
Gigi Gecko, tell Gigi Gecko I said what's up too.
He couldn't be with us tonight, but he sends his warm greetings.
Imagine.
Ridgeview will probably be favored in that Ashley Ridge game. The last game that I want to talk about though, is North Augusta South Point. Have you seen South Point yet?
Have not, but I know the kid that's scoring all the buckets is also the football. Yeah.
Trey Raymond plays football?
I think he does. I think he does play football.
I didn't know.
I did a football championship game. I think I called his name.
I saw him about 2 or 3 years ago. He was only in the 9th or 10th grade. He looked just like Carmelo Anthony, man. Like he's 6'8", but he plays outside. Like he plays and he uses his body, man. In terms of potential, I would put him right there with Josh Leonard.
You know what? I haven't heard that I've said a lot, but I trust your word on it because I haven't seen
Watch him.
Watch him. So that means he was probably a freshman that when they won it a few years ago. I don't know if he was a freshman on that team or not, but Melvin got there before when it was in Aiken and won the whole thing at the buzzer.
I don't think he was on that. If he was on it, he was really young. But
but
he's 6'8".
I didn't realize he was
6'8". Yeah, wow. He's tall and he uses that size. But North Augusta is a good team. Obviously, they beat Gray, and they just won. And they got a great program. And Jordan Rouse is a really, really good player, man. Yeah. And he got that belief in himself.
The Webb kid too. Kamarion Webb is really good as well.
So they have a good team. But man, when you see him, you're gonna be like, man.
Say his name. Give us the whole name. Give us his whole complete name again, because I don't think we skipped over his name. The kid from South Point.
Trey Raymond. Trey Raymond.
And I don't know why. I think I'm pretty sure he's on that football team as well. But listen,
you know what? When you see him, you'll know.
He had like 28 the other night. Mm-hmm. Dude.
Yeah.
Melvin Watson can coach anyway, but when you give him that kind of talent, that's gonna be a good game because North Augusta got athletes, man. And South Point has athletes in every sport. I'm looking forward to that. That's gonna be the finale of the weekend, by the way, for folks. That's the 6:00 game Saturday. That's how we're gonna send everybody away with that 4A matchup. Now I'm telling you, it's gonna be like a college pace to that game.
And I'm to be honest with you, man. This is really a celebration to me of high school South Carolina basketball. You've got it in the CLA. You've got you on the game, and I'm sure not just you, but I'm sure there are other great announcers, and you got it in a fantastic venue. It's going to be a great weekend, and it's with social media nowadays. It's so much stuff to take your attention away. I just think that it's a celebration of South Carolina basketball, and man, it couldn't be any better. And you got great teams. You know what I mean? You got great teams, man. So, what a fantastic weekend.
So you said that I got to give some. Trey Jackson's going to be on the call. Tyler Cupp, our friend Tyler Cupp's going to be on the call. Natalie Norris, who coached Joyce Edwards at Camden. That's good. Jason Patterson, who's our absolute pro coming out of Upstate. Doug Enlow. I think it's Coach Doug Enlow. I think it's Enlow. It's going to be on the microphone. I said Natalie Norris, Tyler Cupp, Trey Jackson, myself. Make sure I got everybody covered there. Listen, it's going to be a great group of broadcasters rotating in and out. I'm doing 5 of the 12 games. The games start at 2:00 on Thursday, and it's all day Thursday. Friday, same thing, and all day. So Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. If you can't get to the CLA, check your local listings. It's going to be a great time. I had to do that plug real quick.
Absolutely. Shout out to Natalie Norris. I believe she played North-South game. Obviously, she was on the girls' side. I was on the boys' side. We graduated from high school the same year. We played. I think her name was Natalie Funderburg back then, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it was. It'll come back and tell me no, because she ended up playing at Carolina. It was Jeffcoat. I think Jeffcoat.
Okay, cool. So That's it, man. Thanks for joining us, man. I'm sorry I had all those technical difficulties, but you know, when you start going down, and I did have one last question.
What you got?
When you start going down, and you know, you're not dealing with the Tyler Cups and now all those type people, you're gonna have these technical difficulties. How long did it take you to get adjusted to having a producer in your ear? Because I could never do a game because I could barely speak, much to less, have to do it in like 10 or 15 seconds. How long did that take for you to get comfortable with having a producer?
It took a minute, guy. And I tell you, once again, it's different. As a color guy, I had them in my ear some. That play-by-play guy, it's all the time. Like, and I got used to it. And I'm working with my guy, Kevin Pasnick, watch Fox for many years. Maybe he's got some great opportunities coming to this. Probably maybe our last time working together this weekend, by the way. But Kevin Pasnick, he's got a bright future. But he is really good. He spoils me. But sometimes they keep the mic open. You can hear them talking to the cameras. You hear them talking to everything. It's a whole production show going on in your ear while you're talking. And they cue you. Like when I'm interviewing you, if I'm interviewing you, I'm hearing when he finishes talking, when you get it back, I want you to throw to this commercial and tell him what we got coming up. And don't forget to mention the schedule of upcoming games. But I'm supposed to listen to you talk too. So it's like when you get it back, here's what we're gonna do when you get it back. Whenever he stops talking, or it might say, stop him from talking. That's enough. Get it back, take it back from him.
I don't think people appreciate
it's a lot to it, bro.
How skillful you have to be able to call a game and still be able to do that while somebody else is talking, and be able to have your information so concise at times, but also have to ramble at other times.
Keep going, bro. You're a point guard. The play-by-play guy is a point guard, and that's me. I'm a point guard at heart, and that's why I like being a play-by-play, because you touch everything. You kind of in and out. You do in and out the commercial breaks. You're talking. You're doing the sponsors. You're announcing the referees. You're giving the background to coaches, and you got to orchestrate all this with noise in your ear. I love it because it keeps my brain activated, man. And that's the art of the whole thing. I love it, man. I love it.
Well, you like that activity, man. But man, much respect to you.
Same
and
you,
love you, brother. Let's have a good weekend.
Let's do. You too, man. I see you down there, man. Appreciate your time.
All right.
That's it.